So do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
Only they can answer that question. Right. I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. Right. I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean?
Any idea who shot Suge?
I'm pretty sure Suge knows who shot him.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so when he comes out of sedation, I'm sure anybody who gets shot will tell you who shot them, right?
Yeah.
But if the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK.
So, you know, he wanted, and then you got to see, like, you could just go tell that the drugs had his mind so messed up, whereas that he started thinking he was Tupac.
Katt Williams is now adding even more controversy to the growing conversation around Sean Combs and the unfinished footage from 50 Cent's Netflix documentary, claiming there are hidden revelations about Tupac Shakur's murder that were allegedly too explosive to include in the final release. The documentary already stirred major debate by exploring alleged connections between Diddy and the deaths of Tupac and the Notorious Big. But 50 Cent later revealed that nearly 140 hours of unseen footage were left out, including sensitive details about Diddy's personal relationships and ties to figures connected to Tupac's circle. Williams, who has openly criticized Diddy for years, now claims his own archive of stories and insider knowledge goes even deeper, suggesting the public has only seen a small portion of what really happened behind the scenes in hip-hop during the 1990s. Fans and critics alike are now questioning whether future releases or a possible second season could uncover even darker material that Netflix allegedly chose not to air.
On that day, at 19-ish years old, boom, he becomes famous. And he creates that rumor reputation of he can put the biggest parties in the world and people show up. The biggest promoter. So that became a way where his image got bigger and bigger and bigger with this. And then when you continue, there's a part with what he didn't like is that Tupac and Biggie started getting very close because Tupac would allow Biggie to open for him. So you guys have to realize, I had Greg Kading on the show 10 years ago. Greg Kading is the guy that was the lead investigator of Tupac. He was in the documentary as well. He was investigating what happened to, he was investigating what happened to, and Rob, if you can pull up the podcast with he and I, and the way I did it on the board, and I put all the suspects of who it could have been. And then he gets to recording and shows with Keefe D. Keefe D is the guy that was the boss who Diddy allegedly offered $1 million. They said, I'll take $1 million to take both of them out. So, and he's saying the recording. He's saying it to the feds. So right here, if you zoom in on this list, Rob, can you zoom in on the list? Okay. So if you zoom in, you see the bottom three names. You see the bottom three names right there?
On the right?
By his right hand.
Tupac?
Right there. Yeah, that's Keefe D is right in the middle.
Okay.
The one to the left is the guy that stole one of the Death Row Records chains.
Oh.
Zoom in a little bit. You can't do it? Okay, it's all good. No worries. So the guy in the middle is the guy that's having a conversation who says, yeah, he offered us $1 million to take him out. Keefe D. And so they try to get the money. They're not able to kill both because he wanted them to kill both Suge and Pac.
In the car?
They only kill Pac, and they don't kill Suge. So allegedly, they got paid $500,000. The $500,000 was paid to the guy on the right, all the way to the right. You see the guy on the right?
Corey.
He's the one allegedly that got the $500,000. And that money never went to Keefe D or anybody else. The guy on the left is the one that stole the
chain,
the chain, which was a Death Row Records chain. That's a way of saying I got your rapper's chain. Because if you were one of the guys, Death Row. So long story short, this whole thing is in recording that he said this. So what does Diddy do? Rob, can you pull up this song? It's a song called Black Rob, featuring Mark Curry and Mario Winans. If you can just type in lyrics, okay? So he gets $1 million Can you go to the lyrics? And Diddy's in the lyrics when he gets started. Go a little bit lower. Boom. Muscle.
You see it in this game?
Can you type in the word in there, Rob? Nice guy. Type Control F, nice guy. Okay, right there. Look at it. It's 1999. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Been nice too long. I'm just going to start making y'all
blank
disappear. Man, first I'm going to take your records off the radio. Then I'm going to erase your social security number. Take your birth certificate out flies. I'm going to do your whole effing family. Ain't nothing but mercy. And then, by the way, in the lyrics, he says, I'll drop $1 million on your head to erase you. Can you type in, I'll drop $1 million, just put Control F. Just go to Google and type this out. I'll drop $1 million on your head. I'll drop $1 million on your head and just put Diddy next to it. Right there. See, it says Black Rob. What song came up?
Phrase.
I'll drop $1 million on your head. Erase you and your whole family, biatch.
Wow.
He's saying it in the song on what he did to get rid of Tupac.
What an idiot.
He's saying this like that is the level of criminality to say, I'm going to get away with it, right? One day I'm at an NBA game. This was 2 years ago, right before he got arrested. I had done like 3 videos on Diddy. He's at a game with one of his girls. He sees me. I see him. Listen, if there's a guy in the hip hop world I cannot stand, is this guy. I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. And then we're locked in. Vinny, when I tell you we're locked in eye to eye, 2 minutes.
And you're not breaking.
Neither one of us are breaking.
And
okay?
It's across the...
Look, you don't understand. To me, Tupac was as a young kid coming up, he played a very big role as
in your painting.
Yeah, he's
the most influential people in your life.
To me, that guy was so to me, you took this guy out. I investigated a lot of people based on the reports and things that we talked to a lot of different people. It always comes back to
Gene Deal has reignited controversy by claiming the rivalry between Sean Combs and Tupac Shakur was far more personal than the public realized, alleging that Diddy was deeply fixated on Tupac's lifestyle, influence, and relationships with women, creating what Gene describes as a repeated pattern of admiration mixed with jealousy and competition. He suggests Diddy not only competed with Tupac professionally, but also mirrored aspects of his image, behavior, and ambitions, while also revealing that behind the scenes, Diddy, Tupac, and Suge Knight sometimes interacted more peacefully than the intense East Coast-West Coast feud portrayed in public, leading fans to question how much of the legendary rivalry was genuine and how much may have been exaggerated for the spotlight.
Get into this Tupac stuff now. We all know Diddy and the feud with Biggie and everything, but they were saying that Diddy was really, really jealous of Biggie and Tupac's relationship.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And Kirk Burroughs, the president of Bad Boy, he knew Puff real well. Real well. Real well. So he made those accusations, and then you could see it too. You could see like every girl that Pop talked to. Sally Richardson, you know what I'm saying? Diddy got with her. Sarah Chapman, Diddy got with her. You understand? The list goes on and on and on. You understand? If he seen Pac with him, he wanted him. If he saw Pac wear it, he wanted to have it. You understand? Pac beat him out of the part for Bishop and Juice. You understand? Puff wanted that part too. He auditioned for that part too. You understand? People may not tell y'all that, but he auditioned for that part too. So, he wanted, and then you got to see, like, you could just go tell that the drugs had his mind so messed up, whereas that he started thinking he was Tupac. For instance, did you see that Grammy speech he did?
I've seen quite a few speeches from Diddy. I don't remember.
Hey, listen to the verbiage in there. He's saying the same stuff Pac was saying.
Oh, wow.
The same. If the people go back, he's saying the same stuff with Pac. Why? Why? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He did have he disliked Pac, but he also loved him in certain things. It's a strange, weird, it's a strange, weird, I guess, relationship that they had, bro.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. Cause I even interviewed Reggie, and like Suge and Diddy were cool too. Even when their beef was going on, I heard they were still communicating and like not. I don't know, man. It was like this weird dynamic that they had.
Y'all thought it was an East Coast, West Coast war. One day we was in behind a house of blues. You hear me? We was driving through that. We had a reporter in the car. He was either from Billboard or he was from, what's that other big magazine? Rolling Stones. It may have been Rolling Stones. He's in the car with me. Riz is on the driver's side. Riz is on the passenger side in the back. The reporter's in the middle. I'm on the driver's side in the back. You got Kenny driving, Puff is in the front. We see Suge and Tupac, right? Pac is in a white Rolls Royce convertible. Suge is in a red Rolls Royce convertible. It's about a House of Blues. Behind the House of Blues, it was about in the afternoon. It wasn't even late at night or nothing like that. So Puff rolled up to Pac. We rolled up to Pac, and Puff said, "Yo, what up, Pac?" Pac looked at that nigga and turned his head and got back on his phone. My man Riz said, "Speak to Suge. Suge is the boss. Speak to Suge." Puff we roll up to Suge car. Yo, what up, Suge? Nothing much. What's happening? He said, "Yo, man, we got any problems? You know if we got any problems out here?" Suge said, "I don't know no problems y'all got out here." You understand what I'm saying? He said, "We good?" He said, "Yeah, I guess y'all good." You know what I'm saying? You good? They talking like that. We drive off. So, did they talk? Yeah, they talk. I seen Pac talk to Puff after that Quad Studio thing. We was in the Roxy. Pac arm was in a sling. Pac arm was in a sling or something like that. A dude lit a cigarette for Pac. We was in the Roxy downtown. Him and Puff was talking like they was talking.
Damn.
So it's a crazy dynamic, but it is what it is, bro.
Katt Williams has added even more intrigue to the ongoing conversation by revisiting claims he first hinted at years before recent documentaries about Sean Combs began dominating headlines, suggesting that connections between Diddy and Tupac Shakur ran far deeper than most people realized. Back in 2014, long before the latest wave of public scrutiny, Katt implied there were hidden truths surrounding Tupac's world that many insiders were unwilling to discuss openly, speaking with a level of confidence that made fans believe he knew more than he was revealing. Rather than presenting the situation as gossip or internet speculation, Katt framed it as something serious and deeply connected to powerful people behind the scenes, fueling the belief among supporters that there may still be untold stories about the complicated relationships, rivalries, and events surrounding one of hip-hop's most controversial eras.
Yeah.
How's he holding up?
Well, first of all, I was there that night. I was with Suge.
Oh, you were with him. You okay. Do you have any idea who shot Suge?
I'm pretty sure Suge knows who shot Suge.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so when he comes out of sedation, I'm sure anybody who gets shot will tell you who shot them, right?
Predicting this is going to be a nobody situation.
I'm making no predictions whatsoever. I'm saying the police said they arrested the shooters, then said they didn't arrest the shooters. But I was there, so I know that 20 minutes after people were laying down on the ground shot, No police had entered the club yet.
Did Suge do anything to provoke this, or
Nobody in the world has ever provoked themselves being shot.
that's true?
There's only two ways to get shot. Either you believe you're somewhere where a person can't have a gun, therefore making you safe, like an airport or a club that restricts entrance, and a situation where the person already has the gun out and you're standing in front of somebody. Now, if you're an idiot, you can believe this was about Suge Knight, but Suge Knight has been accessible every day of his life for 20 years. We know who it was aimed at. We know whose life he saved, and we know why they won't talk about it. But now the rumor mill would tell you, yeah, see, the same thing Suge was doing to Katt, he was trying to do to Chris. They're forgetting something. Suge has never managed me.
What about the reports that this was gang-related? These were two gang members that thought they did it in spite of Tupac.
If it was gang-related, then why didn't it happen thoroughly? You see, there's parts of this story that just don't seem to make sense.
Right.
You're saying it was gang-related, so that means somebody's gang was shooting at somebody's gang, and then somebody's gang didn't shoot back. That's your story? That's not really how gang stuff works.
For years, hip-hop fans were haunted by a cryptic statement from Katt Williams claiming that nobody would ever be held accountable. A comment many originally interpreted as criticism of law enforcement or the music industry's silence, but which now carries a much darker meaning after Katt allegedly confirmed he was referring to Sean Combs. The renewed attention has also brought back a resurfaced 1995 interview where Tupac Shakur carefully spoke about his belief that Diddy had knowledge of the 1994 Quad Studios shooting, insisting he had proof, but choosing his words cautiously because of how dangerous the situation felt. Tupac described how people avoided him after the attack while familiar faces, including Diddy, allegedly kept their distance, fueling suspicions that silence was protecting powerful figures behind the scenes. As tensions between East Coast and West Coast hip-hop exploded, the rivalry between Diddy, the Notorious Big, and Suge Knight intensified through public insults, violent confrontations, and diss tracks like Hit 'Em Up, with Tupac becoming increasingly convinced Bad Boy Records was connected to efforts against him. The story later expanded when Duane Davis claimed that Diddy allegedly offered money connected to violence against Suge Knight and Tupac before the 1996 Las Vegas shooting that killed Tupac, though prosecutors later said there was never enough direct evidence to charge Diddy. Despite decades of rumors, interviews, and insider allegations, Diddy has consistently denied involvement and was never criminally charged in connection to Tupac's murder. Yet many fans and industry figures continue to debate the unresolved mysteries surrounding one of hip-hop's most controversial eras.
Same time, Katt is who he is, and if you really want to understand Katt, he on tour right now. Go buy one tickets per row, and you can hear it all. He's gonna tell the truth. That's the best way to find out about trap.
Even from there, you're selling tickets. You can't, no matter where you're selling. No, the only reason I asked this question is because when he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, and I know you played in the NFL before, when he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, everywhere, everybody was talking, but also people were quiet. I want to play one of the clips, Rob. If you can play the clip of what Katt said to Shannon Sharpe about Diddy. I just want you to hear this since you haven't heard the whole thing. This is just a snippet of what Katt said about Diddy. Go for it.
Big
events
is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Now, when this came out, he went after, Diddy. He went after TDJ. He went after a lot of people in the space. Had you, Katt, and Diddy, did you guys ever party together, three of you guys? I know you and Diddy spent some time together, but did you, Katt, and Diddy ever spend time together?
I'm not gonna say I never had a threesome. I damn sure ain't had no threesome with no men. So you talking about have me and
that's not what I'm asking.
Threesome hung out together. What you trying to do? I mean, have you said, not me.
Well, listen, that is becoming an everyday something new pops up where it's no longer a surprise nowadays.
And your telephone number is monitored and recorded.
But I guess the question I'm asking is, did you Katt and Diddy and Katt ever hang out where? And the reason why I'm asking this, where you actually personally witnessed some of the accusations that Diddy is having, saying the fact that he had cameras in the room.
Okay. But listen, the thing I'm gonna tell you. We from two different worlds. Number one, him and I. Number two, I'm the guy they didn't want to invite to those parties. And I'm glad of it. I've never been happy to be left out of my life. But at the same time, I'm not the guy who's in for Puffy's downfall. But I am the guy who supports the victims who got victimized, right? But at the same time, whatever the situation is, everybody knows it's wrong. And I don't think you can get punished as hard as a regular person because, you know, he used to be an FBI informant for a long time, they say. So I'm quite sure that play a role.
You're saying...
Ask the question. Me, Katt, and Puffy, we had no reason to be hanging out. Me and Katt hanging out, me and Puffy. So that's that.
Got it. So you're saying Diddy's an FBI informant, and he's been one for many years.
That's what they say. Nothing never happens, but it's still, like I said, it ain't my business. Well, I said that because anybody else got with us quick, fast, in a hurry. But, you know, the most important thing about this is that with me, you got some people will have an opinion on something either they weren't a part of or they wasn't there. And I never want to be that type of person because, you know, there's only so many people who had Tupac or seen Tupac or talked to Tupac. And I feel that way because I often hear so many Tupac stories from people who never met him, people who wasn't around. Then you had the ones that if they worked at McDonald's and they took Tupac orders, that don't mean they know Tupac. Or you doing security or wherever, that don't mean you know the man. All these people been benefiting and capitalizing on trying to put the man down or lie on him or tell some stories that they wasn't there or they know anything about. Because I don't think none of these people psychic. And I'm not. You know what happened to the last psychic bitch? She ended up, whoever her name was, the fake roster boys, you know what happened to her when it all went bad. So I don't like to speculate. So I just tell the truth.
Despite decades of rumors, resurfaced interviews, and renewed public attention surrounding the murder of Tupac Shakur, Gene Deal continues to take a firm and realistic stance, arguing that there is still no clear physical evidence proving Sean Combs was legally responsible for the shooting. Discussing Duane Davis and his upcoming trial, Gene explains that speculation, rumors, and industry theories are not enough to secure a conviction in a murder case of this scale, emphasizing that courts require hard evidence such as verified financial transactions, documents, or credible eyewitness testimony that can survive legal scrutiny. He points out major weaknesses in the allegations, including the lack of a proven money trail directly connecting Diddy to Keefe D, no confirmed witness claiming they personally heard a hit being ordered, and questions surrounding Keefe D's credibility due to the multiple versions of events he has reportedly shared over the years, which Gene believes defense attorneys could use to challenge his entire story in court.
With a murder trial, you can't only use circumstantial evidence. You have to have some kind of physical evidence. There's no physical evidence that Keefe D killed or had something to do with Pac's death. There's circumstantial evidence. There's people that could probably testify or what somebody told them or heard. So now, Keefe D, lawyers and them did a great job when they did trial by judge. Because the judge is looking for physical evidence. What ties Keefe D to Puff? What ties Keefe D to the murder of Tupac? And how could they prove that either one of them has something to do with it? Somebody would have to get on the stand and say that I saw him he told me, and they gonna have to believe them. So, do they believe Keefe D? If he told a lot of different stories, you gotta realize he may have told more than one or two stories, because he tell that story now. What about the stories he told prior to this? You understand what I'm saying? So you're gonna look at that. You're gonna look at, okay, did he get the money? Where's the money at? Who got the money? Who wrote the check? Who paid the money? Where did it come from? When did it come from? It's a lot of mitigating circumstances in that whole case that is going to be hard to prove. You could easily say anything, but you got to look at that. Keefe D defense is going to say, okay, this was a gang situation. Then you hear, Suge telling Pac on one of the things that he told Pac, yo, listen to me, bruh, you done got involved into some gang stuff now, and things might be different. You understand? Because gangs might be involved now. Yo, bro, let me tell you, back in the day, I was there. Let me just say, and what I mean I was there is that, don't you know that a lot of people was coming up dead? There was so many shootings out of LA about crazy. It's a lot of people that came up dead behind that. The Bloods was laying people down. But behind Pac getting shot. It was a big, it sparked a big gang war out there. So, if they want to pull Diddy into that, they got to mitigate circumstantial evidence. Anybody could be a witness for you, but what can they prove? Somebody's going to have to say, I heard this conversation. This was a handshake or a nod or something went down, and it's going to be hard to prove. It's going to be hard to prove. Unless they follow the money. They were always saying stuff and they try to make it seem like I said it. I never said it. All I said was I saw a check for $1 million, right? Eric Von Zip had a check for $1 million, and he said he got it from Al Heyman. Not Al Heyman. What's the dude's name? He was married to Gladys Knight. Black Ground Records. Barry Hankerson. And he said, I got this check from Barry Hankerson and what's the other dude's name? Jimmy Henchman. And it's for me selling my record label to him. I said, I didn't know you had a record label. When he showed us, and I said us the check. When he showed us the check, it wasn't only me. I said, dog, when did you get a record label? That's what I said to my man.
After hearing all the rumors, resurfaced interviews, and conflicting stories surrounding the death of Tupac Shakur, the biggest question still remains. Was the truth buried because there was never enough evidence to expose it? Or is there still hidden information that the public has never seen? With names like Sean Combs, Gene Deal, and Dwayne Davis continuing to fuel debate, fans are left wondering whether the full story will ever truly come to light. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe so you never miss any future updates and discussions.